Boris Johnson defends using private jet for 400-mile trip from Glasgow back to London after lecturing world leaders on the need to cut down on travel emissions at COP26.
Here's a summary of the article.
Boris Johnson will travel back to London from the COP26 climate change conference by private jet after lecturing world leaders on the need to cut travel emissions, Downing Street confirmed tonight. Mr. Johnson is due to return to the capital when the Leaders' Conference section of the summit ends this week. He today told world leaders at the start of the COP26 summit that they can no longer afford to delay taking major action to address climate change, as he warned, "The longer we fail to act, the worse it gets." After his speech, his spokesman told reporters he would fly back to London using a private charter powered by a special mix of sustainable aviation fuel. "Our approach to tackling climate change is to use technology so that we do not have to change how we use modes of transport. Rather, we use technology on things like electric vehicles so that we can still get to net zero," the spokesman said. Mr. Johnson used the aircraft, operated by Titan Airways, to fly out to the G20 summit in Rome on Friday and then carried on to Glasgow on Sunday. On Sunday, Mail Online observed at least 52 private jets landing at Glasgow, while estimates put the total number flying in for the conference at 400.
This post received a score of 24,000, with an upvote ratio of 89%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Boris Johnson keeps championing Britain's rail network. If it's so great, and if the British and Scottish governments are putting so much money into the railways, he should be using it. Especially since the railways are going back into government ownership under GBR. All he is doing is hurting Britain's rail industry, and dooming it before it's even in the government's hands. He needs to start taking trains if he has any business in any place in the mainland UK.
Greater than, but its use will embolden critics who say there is one set of rules for the global rich and another for everyone else, amid efforts to cut global air travel to cut emissions. Duh. Proven over and over and over that there are rules for thee but not me.
He took the hypocritical oath.
He's a hypocritical oath.
As hypocritical as it may sound, how the hell else are you going to get the leaders of the world, people whose schedules are planned down to the minute months in advance, all in the same spot for a meeting without using some form of private transport? Biden can't exactly hop on Spirit Air to the G20. It's a catch-22. The bullshit part is they go all the way there and end up tossing a coin in a fountain to wish we fix the climate.
Well, for one thing, for Bojo at least, I bet there's a train.
Yes. 2 main lines back down to London. One from Glasgow, another an hour east in Edinburgh. I can't imagine hiring one train for government ministers etc. would have been too hard given that COP26 is on this week. Win-win for all concerned really.
Last time I took the West Coast train it took about 5 hours. Sit your ass down and do some reading, work, napping. Overall not bad. Grow up folks. BJ is a mess of a leader, human specimen. But are we really going to get bent out of shape over heads of state of world leading nations not taking a bus? Are we going to pretend the schedule demands of the job and the security concerns are somehow irrelevant? I'm all for massive environmental reform, but this is just dumb outrage to feed the algorithms.
All these world leaders can roll coal in a bunch of Cummins trucks for all I care. So long as they sign actual meaningful change into law.
The important thing to remember is that Boris Johnson is, whatever the situation may be, a massive bellend.
His government literally cut the price of flying within the UK last week instead of encouraging them to use trains.
God, fuck this dumb as shit narrative every single fucking time. It's just an easy distraction from the actual issues.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.